Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good. Okay.
And we're here. Good
And
morning.
we're back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We should just start the episode
No, we
here.
should act like, yeah.
We should actually. Let's do that.
Okay, good morning,
Good
Abigail.
morning, guys. We are restarting our show because Hot Mess Express, we actually just had a discussion while the intro was playing about doing maybe a quick check-in thing. It would be, like I said, we would record it, but then we would put it up, and I think that'd be, and we might call it Hot Mess Express because that's clearly what this is.
If the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, wear
Then
it.
if the shoe fits, Abby will buy them.
Yeah. Girl math. Ooh, so along with
we save that for Hot Mess Express.
Along with my Stanley That's Not a Stanley, I also bought these really cute. So the reason why the Stanley That's Not a Stanley is free is because so I was at Target, right? And so I had these really cute black strappy shoes. In fact, I literally will go grab them and show you. I will in just a minute. Really cute black strappy sandal heel things, circular, and they were $40. And so I put them in my cart. I'm gonna buy them, right? And I was like, $40 for some cute shoes. This is not that bad, right? And they're giving Barbie, but they're black. They're giving goth Barbie, but sexy. They're so cute. Anyways, and then this was $34. And so I was at Target, so I obviously was getting deodorant, razors, stuff like that. And so that stuff I needed to buy. But I was like, okay, I'll treat myself to two little things, right? But both of them were $40, right? I was like, that's crazy, right? So I decided I'm going to splurge because I cannot live without these shoes. And I can also not live without my Stanley. It's not a Stanley. I don't know if you can tell. It's pink cheetah. Oh, so cute. I'm not done. And so I went to go buy the shoes. Mom, hold on. See, you should have played your intro. Yeah, nothing would have went wrong. I go to buy the shoes. Shoes on clearance for $12. So I saved what? Do the math. $20-something.
I stopped listening. I'm sorry. How much did you say they were originally?
They were originally $40, and I got them for $12.
Oh.
So I saved how much money?
A lot.
$28. I saved $28, and this was $35. So I mean, what's that? A $10 difference? Basically free, basically nothing. So I got this for free.
I feel like putting me on the spot with math is just mean, by the way. But anyway, so
it was free.
Do we want to talk about our topic?
We do.
We still actually have 30 minutes. We're good.
Yeah. So we were gone for a while. Maddie said girl math. Exactly.
Sure. Absolutely.
No, exactly. 100%. And what's funny is I was literally just saying to somebody the other day.
It was grandma.
About girl math?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I invented girl math. It just has a name to it now. Because I've always thought like that. I've been on that. I've been on if it's on sale, it's free. If it's less than $5, it's free. If you return something, you literally just won money. You basically won the lottery.
I don't know about the girl math, but I am the queen of justification. If you need to justify something, come to me. I will 100%.
I will justify anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good at it too.
I'll be like, well, I really like the black.
She actually hates it because when we go on vacation and stuff, she's like, oh, I don't want to spend this money. I'm like, but when are you going to be here again? She's like, damn it.
I also really wanted a Stanley style cup because I do want all the accessories that I saw on TikTok. You can put a little container on there. You can have a purse for your Stanley. So your Stanley literally has a little purse. You can put a little bowl on it with snacks on top. I hope it fits my Simple Modern. What's it called? I hope it fits her because I do want to get the accessories. I think that's so cute. If not, I also will buy a Stanley. I
just didn't even know you were that thirsty. I mean, I know I am. Anyway,
it's so big. It's so huge. She's gorgeous. So yeah, familiar ties. That's what we're talking about today. Because we've been out of town visiting family, traveling the world, being those bitches, being bad bitches, body yaddy 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 yaddy, living our life. Hot girl era, catching flights, not feelings.
Oh, I drove.
Girl.
You left my sound on.
Oh, ignore. So yeah, tell the people.
So I drove. So I had a whole I mentioned it here. I think I kind of sort of planned it on the air one day.
I think you did.
That I was going to do this road trip around the world. I say around the world, around the country. It's not that serious, but I mean, I'm talking about I spent $1,000 on car stuff to make sure that I could do this trip,
Yeah.
And I had it mostly planned out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had like days planned out. So I work remotely. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take these days off, but then I'm going to actually like work some of the days, but not the days I have to drive all day, blah, 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 blah. I had it all like worked out. So I didn't take like I don't have a month of vacation. So anyhow, so of course I got a late start because, well, it's me and also not entirely my fault. We had a storm, our fence blew down, blah, blah, blah. I had things at the last minute.
Yeah. So we actually had a show scheduled, but we canceled it because our power's out. And then we took the next 2 weeks off knowing that like you would be out of town one of the days, I would be out of town the other. And then this was supposed to be our first day back.
I'm actually supposed to be out of town right now. We're going to do me remotely.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I was
going
to do remotely.
Yeah.
So I got a little late start, and then that's fine. Abby flew to Ohio, which was the first stop on my world tour. First official stop. Obviously, I didn't drive from Houston to Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
In one shot. But so Abby flew there because she's a princess and she's like, I'm not gonna get in the car. So she didn't. But she got a little karma for that one too, actually.
I did on the way back. That's when that whole like worldwide shutdown happened.
Yes, the day she flew back.
The security, Microsoft something. Yeah. I still don't really understand it, but I was flying that day, which was atrocious. It was a bad experience. Don't recommend. Don't fly when like shit's going down. Also, let me actually tell the story really quick. I'll be quick. So I get to the airport. It's an early flight. I like early flights. I like to just get to my destination at the beginning of the day. So it's an early morning flight, and the Ohio airport is surprisingly packed, right? At the little kiosk where you drop your bag. Well, she doesn't check bags. So here I am thinking, okay, I don't gotta wait in that line. That's why you can do a carry-on. That's why you don't check your bags.
You think you're one up on everybody.
Yeah. So I'm in the security line, and then I see, and I'm waiting in the security line. Security line's kind of long, but I get there early because she's on time. So then I see like a big ass camera and a guy in a suit with a microphone, like a news anchor person. And I'm like, oh, something's going down. I said, it must be that little check bag line. I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, I'm seriously in the clouds in La La Land. I don't think anything's going to affect me. I'm like, she's good. She's fine. I'm here on time. My flight's going to be good. Okay, so I get through security. No one's saying anything, but we're all looking at the news like, what's going on? What's going on here? So then I get through security and I get to my gate and I sit down. I crack open my iPad. Ooh, my iPad's pink and this is pink and my computer's pink. That would have looked so cute if I would have brought this with me. But anyways, so I crack open my iPad. I'm playing my games. I'm like watching. I started watching Degrassi. I've been obsessed with Degrassi. Anyways.
This is why we need an hour to tell like one story.
I know. So I crack open my iPad. I'm playing my games, right? And then they tell us my flight's supposed to take off at like 6 or 7. I don't remember when it was. And they were like, we're going to give you guys an update at 8 a.m. I was like, okay, there's a little delay. It's okay because I'm still here early. I'm still going to get to my destination early, right? I'm like, 8 o'clock is fine. Just dandy, right? So
I will sidebar that you did download a lot of stuff to your iPad and you called it because you said, I don't know why I'm downloading all this for like a 2-hour flight.
I did. I downloaded hours worth of movies, TV shows,
there you go.
All sorts of stuff. I downloaded crazy. And so, yeah. And so I'm waiting at the airport. It's 8 a.m. They make the same announcement. They basically are like, well, there's an outage. It's nationwide, worldwide. We don't know what it is. No airlines are working. We have no information. We don't know when it's going to be resolved. We'll let you know in an hour. So they do this every hour. So keep in mind, I got to this airport at like 5:30, very early in the morning. So now it's like 9 a.m. And I'm like, I'm not crying yet. I did cry. No one saw me cry except some random lady behind me when I went to baggage claim. Nobody's at baggage claim because nobody was arriving anywhere. But anyways, so I decide, okay, well, when it hits 10 o'clock and while there's still no updates, I'm just going to get a different flight and like not wait at the airport all day because I'd also only slept like 2 hours the night before on a cot a cot.
That comes later in the family
So
part.
my back hurt so bad, and I was like, I could not get comfortable. Like I even tried laying on the floor at the airport, which she does not do, but I literally felt like I had no other choice. So I laid down for 2 seconds, and then I felt dirty, so I just got back up. I was like, I cannot do this. And so then at 10:30, I call my mom. We decide to switch my flight to a flight later in the day, because at least maybe we'll have more information by then, right? So my original flight takes off. So I leave the airport at 10:30. My original flight takes off at like 11:15, which means I would have gotten back to Houston around 1 p.m., give or take. Okay. So the flight that ended up taking later was originally supposed to take about 2:50. So here I am like, oh, well, it's resolved now. Surely I'm going to get on my flight at 2:50. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That did not happen. I did not leave Cleveland, Ohio until like 8:45 p.m., which is more than 12 hours than when I was originally planning on leaving Cleveland, Ohio. So talking back to family, right? I have a cap. 5 days is my cap. Away from home, really. With anybody, really. Like I need every 5 days, I need a day, or at least like half a day, at least like 4 or 5 hours to sit by myself, no one breathing in my face, no one looking at me, no one talking to me. Like I need to rot. And so a lot like family time, we were right at, I was supposed to leave on the 5th day. So I'm leaving in good spirits. You know what I'm saying? But that last day really did it for me. Not a happy.
Which, by the way, you literally barely spoke to any of us.
I know.
And the rest of the days you had the basement to yourself with your cot.
With my cot.
Because I refused.
We stayed in my grandparents' basement.
That wasn't the bad part.
The basement's
fine.
The basement was fine. We literally slept on cots.
I'm telling you, when you turn 50, you say things out loud that you would have been too polite to say before, because one night on that, and I walk back upstairs and they're like, how'd you sleep? I'm like, that was awful. Why would you buy those? Those are terrible. And I would have been way too nice to say that in the past, but it was really awful. So you spent a whole day more. Guess how much longer I spent than I intended to?
Yeah.
A week. So as all this is happening, Jennifer, that's me, gets sick, like really sick.
Yeah.
Like a virus. And
we thought she had COVID, and I was like, girl, do not. I was like, and she was tooting and pooting, toots and magoots over there.
I mean, we didn't need to get into any sort of details about this, but bad things were happening to me.
She was like, hand me, you told me to hand you something, and I literally like covered my mouth with my shirt, and I was like, here you go.
I tested negative for all the contagious things.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically like threw some antibiotics at me and were like, hey, if you don't feel better in 3 or 4 days, you should go to the hospital. Cause I just went to a little clinic, and I was like, great. So 4 days later, when I didn't feel better, I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'll be stuck in Ohio forever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's nothing against Ohio, but you know, I have a home and a dog and a kid and all the things. So I had to wait until I could drive myself home, which I did. Still sick, kind of.
Yeah.
Sickish. I'm sickish.
Not contagious.
Not contagious.
In another room.
And of course, so I'm calling my doctor from Ohio because I need to take days off work to get myself home.
Yeah.
And my work's not being great about it. Anyway, so I call the doctor's office, and they're like, yeah, we got your back. We got you on this, you know, whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, can you make me an appointment so I can see you as soon as I get back?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really respond to that. So I called, and they can't wait to see me next Friday.
A week from today.
So, I mean, maybe I'll cure myself. That would be great. Or not.
Speaking of Friday.
It'll be after our show next Friday.
Speaking of Friday, I got paid today.
Oh, good.
And she is a rich girl. Na 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 na.
I'm not. You want a bill?
Na, 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 na. I actually, because I also didn't work for like 2 weeks, I'm not a rich girl.
We're a paying bills girl.
Yeah. She is hourly.
Oh, maybe I didn't pay the internet bill. No, I'm just kidding.
No, she paid that internet.
So anyway, but back to family. So that was lovely. I did get to see my parents. That was nice.
It was nice to see them. And what freaks me out about them is they're old, so they literally always talk about dying. So I'm like, is this your way of guilting me to come come see you every so often because it's working? Because I'm like,
I will say, love them, really do, and they love when we come to see them. So much that they don't want us to leave. So all of this really kind of worked out in their favor.
Yeah.
But they spend a lot of the time that we're there talking about how we should stay longer. And I'm like, I feel like you're not enjoying the time that we're actually here because you're worried about why didn't we plan to stay longer.
Yeah.
Also, mom and dad, can you pay my bills? And I'll stay as long as you want. That'd be cool. No, not really.
And like, they're old. They're not adventurous. It's not like we're doing a whole lot.
They don't do a lot, but they have a new house and they have a lot of little wildlife creatures that run around the house, which entertains my father.
Her dad, my grandpa, like he would not shut up about the damn chipmunks and stuff outside. Like that. I
mean, that's his TV.
That's his TV. He sits outside. And
he doesn't actually watch the real television until like 7 p.m. And the rest of the time he watches the squirrels and the chipmunks and the birds. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous.
And he has like 1,000 bobbleheads. So that's
he still has the bobbleheads. Which he gave you one.
He did. They're quirky. They're quirky, them too, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But I was working, so Abby got to hang out with my my bonus mom there for a couple days, and
we're shopping. I've been doing a lot of shopping lately.
This woman, we really, I've told Abby, I don't know why we actually bring clothing. Yeah, when we go there, we should literally just bring like 2 outfits because we know we're going to go shopping. We know that's going to happen.
Yeah, she loves a good Kohl's.
We did go. You didn't get to go, but next time we go, you have to go to we went to the Amish country.
Ooh, I love
Amish. That was really cool. It was really cool. Like the
why didn't we do that while I was there? Because I wasn't there on a weekend, probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it was great. Like we and it's not close. We had to drive like an hour and a half to get there. Whatever. But yeah, that was really nice. And it's gorgeous, beautiful, so beautiful.
You're talking about me?
Yes, Abby, I'm talking about you. Yeah, so Amish country, and we went to a restaurant that was kind of but I bought, what do I always buy? I want to go anywhere.
Jelly. Plus I saw the jelly. So
I bought so many jellies.
I love jelly. I've been obsessed with peanut butter and jellies lately. Like ever since that storm happened, I was like, well, I'll be fine because I can have peanut butter and jellies. But then we ordered groceries and they didn't have bread, so they brought us like crackers instead. I want crackers and peanut butter and jelly. I want peanut butter and jelly on bread. And so I've been thinking about peanut butter and jelly and not an Uncrustable because I had Uncrustables recently, but I wanted like a fresh homemade peanut butter and jelly, so I made one the other day and it was life-changing.
By the way, I got groceries. I'm done with the family thing. Sorry. Like I think it should be another day because I wanted to talk about. I did want to talk about kind of over it because today, but I did want to talk more about like as you get older, like you're kind of, in early adulthood, you kind of just do what I say as far as family, like right.
Yeah.
But then like there's the dynamic of when you get married. And then you have to visit others' family.
Yeah.
And then you have to make that determination. And then anyway, I wanted to get in all that, but I don't really think we have time. So let's just get back to the whole debacle of my ruined vacation.
I do want to talk about family.
Oh, you do want to talk about family?
Yeah, just that, like, I don't know. I'm not one of those people. Like, I remember growing up, I always like really I was always jealous of the people that had you'd go over to their house on the weekend and they would have like their aunts, uncles, cousins, like everybody, grandma, grandpa on both sides. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always thought that was really cool. Or like, I remember being friends with people who had like a lot of siblings and like now they're an aunt and uncle at like, 15, 16 years old, whatever. And I always thought that was really cool. Like, I always thought that was like a very like, and maybe it's because I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? We don't live near aunts, uncles, none of that. Like,
and I didn't either. Yeah.
But I think that was more of a thing when I was younger because that's what you see like in the movies and stuff like that.
No, I actually had. Oh,
But I also do watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or it's just called the Kardashians now, and it seems to like get in the way sometimes when your family is too involved in like your personal life. I think it can, for some people, then they feel like entitled to like be everywhere. And like, for instance, I do want to get married soon. I do want to get married soon. You know, by soon I mean like, you know, the next like 30 days.
Nothing like planning ahead.
But like I wouldn't
No, but hold on, because
can I finish my actual statement that I was making?
No, because you keep going off into another nonsense.
No, you were talking about weddings and having people at weddings.
I was not. I said nothing about
Yes,
a wedding.
you did.
I did not.
You said something about getting married.
I meant because after you're married, you have to decide whose house to go to for holidays and stuff. But I wasn't talking about weddings.
Okay.
See where your head's at.
She wants to get married. What can I say?
But what I was going to say is you said like, oh, when you're a kid, you feel that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually had kind of an emotional moment in Ohio because my stepmom was talking about she went home to Kansas and all her aunts and uncles and cousins and this and that, where she grew up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, well, like where I grew up, you guys moved from there. So there's no, I mean, I don't have family there anymore, right?
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere family wise. I have lots of friends there, of course, and I was like, and it kind of like struck me as I was in Ohio that I was born there and that like that could have been the place that I was raised and I could have been around family and and here I was visiting and not familiar with any of it. And both sides, my mother and father are both from there. So both sides, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody's still relatively nearby. And I'm just like, I need GPS to get to the gas station. You know what I mean? Like,
I think there are pros and cons to it because like, I think, there's that. I think there's benefits to like being around like lots of family, extended family, and having that support system. I think there are benefits to it. And I think ideally, like, I think as a country and just as a society, we've stepped away a lot from that like community mindset. Like, and it's very much like fend for yourself, figure it out, move out on your own. And I was talking about this. I took a little girls trip this weekend. I remember because I was traveling with my friends who are very family oriented. They're from another country, so I think that's more in their culture too, to be way more family oriented. And like, there's 4 of them. There's 4 siblings, and they all like ranged from like 30 to like 20 something, and they all live at home and with no expectation to leave at any point. And so I think, but I also like the fact that you and I, like our family, I like that like I didn't live in one place my whole life. I mean, I live in Texas for the most part, like we don't have like family here, but I feel like I have roots here, if that makes sense, like because I've lived here for so long. But I also really like, and we've talked about this before on another show, I forget what it was, but like moving a lot. Like, I don't know, I always kind of like a new, like fresh start, like trying something new, seeing a new thing. So I think there are people who like are more okay with that, like maybe like lonely traveler kind of lifestyle, like family dynamic. And there's some people who like maybe need and want more community and family support. And I think it kind of just depends on what you value as like a family unit in terms of like parents and children.
I feel like maybe, sorry if anybody gets offended by this. I love y'all. I do feel like it has kept me from making the type of friendships that you have made.
Okay. Like lifelong friends.
Yeah, because I've moved so much. Like I do have friends that I still keep in touch with, but I don't feel like any of the moves I've made have been like heartbreaking.
Right.
You know, like it wasn't that hard for me to move, but I moved a lot as a kid and I just have moved a lot. Well, this is the longest I've lived anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think
when I think about it, I think sometimes I like idolize like maybe moving somewhere else. I'm like, oh, how cool would it be to live in like New York or go here and do all these things. But then when I actually think about it, I'm like, I've started my career in Houston. Like I do feel and I, you know, my best friends live here, my relationships are here. And then Brittany just commented the choir, like I'm in a show choir here, like, and even, you know, work wise, it'd be way easier to find a job here because I like know people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like the idea of that other stuff, but then when I actually think about it, I'm like, I think it would be hard to like leave the community that I've built, even though it's not.
I guess it would depend on the
Family.
reason. So interestingly, on my trying to salvage what type of vacation I could. So I did not go to any place but Ohio, in case nobody figured that out. I did not go to Maryland. I did not go to Virginia.
You stopped in Nashville.
But on the way back, it's
Yeah.
on the way.
Yeah.
So I did stop in Nashville, and just so happened that that night at the Grand Ole Opry was the 30th anniversary of Forrest Gump, and it was sold out.
And you sent me that Ben Platt was supposed to be there too, right? Didn't you send me something?
That was at the Ryman Theater, I think. But that was earlier in the month. That was not.
Sorry. Keep talking about your
or some other time. Anyway, it was the 30th anniversary of Forrest Gump. There was literally one ticket left for sale. I was by myself, one ticket. All right, so I got my little one ticket. And I decided, I like the Grand Ole Opry, but this was a lot different because I'd never been on a themed night like that. So it was really cool. So Gary Sinise, who's Lieutenant Dan, and the Lieutenant Dan band were there. And he has, after he made this movie, or because of this movie 30 years ago, he started a foundation that like supports veterans and active duty soldiers and our military, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of like all the tickets, the proceeds went to it and whatnot. So it's very much geared towards Forrest Gump, but then also that, So it turns out that I'm saying this because I'm getting to a point. Mm-hmm. So it turns out that like during intermission, I'm sitting in the middle of all the Gary Sinise Foundation employees.
Oh shit.
That's where the one ticket, I don't know, somebody canceled. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and then at some point somebody thinks I work with them. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I don't, but I'll talk to you, So the lady in front of me was asking me where I'm from. She's from the same place in California that I'm from. She knew where my parents live. And I was like, well, where do you live now? She's like, well, I live in Nashville because Gary Sinise, his foundation used to be based in Los Angeles. And 2 years ago, he moved it to Nashville. Oh. And I was like, oh. And I said, oh. And I was like, well, it must be a pretty good job if she moved, right? And so blah, blah, blah. Somehow I don't even know how we got there, but because her and I had lived in the same places, she said, well, now you need to move to Nashville. I said, well, I can't. I said, well, my daughter, I said, she like does radio stuff. And I just said, she does radio stuff. I said, and she's in the Houston show choir. So we're staying in Houston. And then I go, unless Gary Sinise would like to discover her, and then she might move to Nashville. I tried.
The choir was supposed to go to Nashville.
I tried.
We had plans to.
But it was that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool experience. And there was a couple people from the movie there. Tom Hanks was there via video, but not there in person. But it was cool. It was very fun. And I always have a good time there. I say always. It's my second time. I act like I go all the time. But it's a cool place. If you haven't been there, you do not necessarily have to be a country music fan. It is it's good. I don't know why I'm plugging for the Grand Ole Opry.
For real.
But I mean, us? Yeah, you're welcome.
Can Stanley sponsor us? Even though this isn't a Stanley. I know for a fact, actually though, on some real shit, I don't know who needs to sponsor me, but I literally, like either secondhand or firsthand, convinced at least 4 people to get tablets. I'm not even kidding. Not iPads necessarily. So maybe that's why I'm like, somebody needs to sponsor me. I told my friend about it, who told her other friend, who told people at work about it. Somebody else also bought it at her job. So she's influential, but it's really because I influenced her.
Well, I mean, since 1998, I've convinced people to have children. Whatever.
Okay, we should wrap things up.
We should. That was not terrible for.
Well, yeah, because I was like not gonna do it. I was over. I was like, I don't want to do the show, but it worked out. I think it was a fun little show. Hot Mess Express.
Yeah, I don't know how much we're talking. Well, we threw family in there. We have a lot more to add about that. But you know what? Maybe we'll do like a holiday show instead.
I got a text during the show that says, "How are you gonna yawn in the middle of your show?" LOL. What?
Did you yawn?
I did. Whoops. She's sleepy.
First of all, I think I know who texted you that. I didn't really see the name, but why would anything that we do surprise anybody, frankly?
Facts.
I mean,
get used to it, girl. You know what?
What's wrong with you?
I was about to say something petty, but maybe I should keep it to myself.
You probably should.
I don't want to, but
I know she's dying. We're gonna sign off before the petty comes spewing
before I get
out.
myself canceled.
Yeah. Oh no, we won't.
Not canceled, but maybe by a certain individual.
Okay,
I think I'm
let's
already
say
canceled.
bye. Let's say
Okay.
bye. What's next week's show? Do you happen to know?
Not off the top of my head,
Okay,
but I do know it.
but hopefully we'll have a whole hour of it and all the things.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks for staying, y'all.